Good morning, Team Genesis Associates. We're happy to have you with us. My name is Janet Larson Meyer, and I'm an Executive Vice President at CTFO. Each week, my partner, Klaus Urbanek, and I line up quality, internal, and external trainers to help you master a specific aspect of your CTFO home-based business. We've covered such important topics as the characteristics of a true leader, the sales process, how to overcome objections, goal setting, time and life management skills, how to make the phone your friend, how to successfully promote your business on social media, and much, much more. Today, we'll be covering a marketing strategy that many of you have been asking for. What you're going to hear about next will allow you to grow your business beyond your warm market. I met Jason Kraft from Dedicated Media Solutions last month when network marketing icon Brian Carruthers introduced us. Brian assured me that Jason had something that everyone on my team was looking for, and he was right. I'm going to bring Jason up right now to let you hear about that from him as I interview him about what his company does and how that can help Team Genesis Associates do the most important revenue generating activity in network marketing, finding interested prospects who are looking for the type of business opportunity we offer. Jason, thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday to be with us here this morning.
It's my pleasure, Janet. Thanks so much for having me.
Let's jump right in because we have a lot to cover. And why don't you tell us about your company, Dedicated Media Solutions?
Yeah, absolutely, Janet. So Dedicated Media Solutions is an advertising company, and we focus primarily on advertising to generate leads for the network marketing and direct sales industry. So we're an online-based company that uses primarily search engine optimization and email marketing strategies to generate leads.
Very good. How long have you been in the advertising space and helping home-based business owners like us grow our businesses?
Me personally, I got started about a little over 19 years ago. And this is all I've ever done. So when I got started, I was with an advertising and lead generation company, had spent 14 years with them, and recently transitioned about 6 years ago, joined forces and got on board with Dedicated Media Solutions. So, this is all I've ever known right out of college. I got involved in advertising and lead gen, and we've always focused on the direct sales and network marketing industries.
And now after all these years, you've helped thousands and thousands of MLMers, am I right?
We have literally helped thousands of network marketers make more money in their home-based businesses, yes. And it's all been done through advertising services and lead generation.
Yeah, and we so appreciate you. What are business opportunity leads, Jason?
Yeah, so simply put, Janet, a lead is someone who is responding to an advertisement, whether obviously in this case they're responding to a home-based business opportunity ad, but a lead can be anyone who is responding to an advertisement, regardless. It doesn't matter what the ad is promoting or offering. So simply put, a lead is someone who is responding to an ad and requesting additional information based on the offer. Now, again, our advertising is focused specifically on the home-based business and network marketing industry. So these are people that are requesting information about starting a home-based business.
Yeah, and I appreciate how you're not deceptive and tricking people into thinking they're responding to some kind of job opportunity. So you put it out there, and if people seek this kind of lifestyle and this kind of income generating opportunity, then this is something that they would want to be, or they'd be open to considering, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you bring up a good point. Not only are we very specific in how we posture our ads and gear towards home-based business, we do not employ incentive-based advertising. In other words, we're not incentivizing people to respond to our ads by offering gift cards or TVs or whatever it may be. So it is very important to us from an integrity standpoint that people who are responding and seeing our ads have a sincere interest in home-based business. Now, that's not to say that every person or lead who responds is going to be serious or qualified for your time and effort and energy to work with that individual. But yes, it is very important to us that our ads convey home-based business. In
Yeah.
fact, in some cases, we go as far as to let the prospect know that there's typically an investment required to get started, and we confirm that they are willing to make an investment. And we can talk more about that, but yeah, we are very specific in how we posture our ads to generate leads.
Yeah, and I love how you stay on the high road, Jason, because as I follow up with those people, when there's no trickery involved in the whole thing, I feel very comfortable putting my best foot forward for CTFO. And I can't even tell you, I won't even brag to tell you how many times I just get it done. You set you set the tone for them being open and receptive to speak with me. So I totally appreciate that. How do you generate these leads?
Yeah, so again, we're primarily working online. We utilize search engine optimization and email marketing. And for those of you, I don't have a technical background myself, and this is, within the past 6 years, something that's becoming, I'm learning more about. But so search engine optimization, all that basically is, in simple terms, is let's say you go and you utilize a major search engine such as Bing or Google or Yahoo, and we know that when we type in our search topic, and in this case, I'll just use the example of home-based business. So let's say you go to Google, you type in home business opportunities. We know that Google's going to pull up a listing, multiple different links that are associated with that search topic. Again, home-based business opportunities. So in this case, what's happening is the individual who's conducting that search, they see the blurb there by our link. They like what they've read. They then have to click on that link, which is going to take them to what we call a capture page. So again, that's simply an advertisement that allows the viewer to opt in by typing in their information and requesting additional information on home-based business opportunities. So again, it's all very structured and geared specifically towards home-based business. Now, email marketing, very similar concept. So we're adding thousands of people per day. And that's exciting. Those are exciting numbers because that just goes to show how many people are out there actively seeking out and are interested in starting a home-based business. So with the email marketing strategy that we employ, people are requesting information via email. So in turn, we will market to them our client-specific opportunities. If they like what they're seeing about that particular business, they can take action. And typically what that looks like is we'll send them to a client of ours capture page that's specific to their business. And of course, again, if the prospect likes what they're seeing, they can opt in specifically to our client's capture page. So those are the two primary strategies that we use to generate leads: search engine optimization and email marketing.
Both pretty straightforward. And Jason, tell us, because I think our viewers will be surprised, what information you provide us that an inquirer has had to submit on that lead capture page.
Yeah, absolutely. So most of our pages are requiring the full name, first name, phone number, email address. Those are the primary pieces of information, because nowadays, asking for a physical address isn't really necessary at the beginning stage. And of course, that when you ask for additional information like that, that can impact or affect the conversion rate, which can, without getting too technical, can drive up costs of advertising to generate the lead. So we're always collecting the name, phone number, and email address of the individuals that we're generating.
Very good. And why should me and my team even consider using leads in our business building efforts? Yeah,
sure, Janet. So, we know that the lifeblood of our business, right, is having people to talk to and share information with, whether that's through our warm markets or through, or members, any sort of networking type of organizations, your Chamber of Commerce, whatever it may be. We know that the lifeblood of our business is having people to connect with and share information with. So we always come at it from a standpoint that leads can be used in conjunction with your other business building activities, whether you've got an extensive, direct warm market that you can work with, or if you're working with team members to penetrate their warm markets. That's fantastic. I mean, that's typically the first order of business, right, is working in your warm market. Now, there may come a point in time where you've exhausted your warm market, or you have a team member that doesn't have a warm market, or maybe they just aren't interested in presenting the information to their warm market, whatever it may be. So leads come in as a supplement to be able to allow you to basically make connections daily and be able to, again, share information about your opportunities. So it's all about the engagement, activity, sharing information and exposing your opportunity, because without that activity, we know that our business will become stagnant.
Right. And I like your idea and suggestion of like a multi-prong marketing strategy. I got to say, though, once you delve into these, they are so much fun. I mean, I have watched CTFO associates just get lit up and all excited for the game to win here again, just by having these quality leads to be able to follow up on. Jason, tell us, what type of leads do you offer?
Sure, Janet. So all of our leads, again, are geared towards home-based business. In other words, we're utilizing the search engine optimization and the email marketing tactics. Now, we offer different lead products. So, for instance, when we go over and we take a look at the FastStartLeads.com, we'll see different lead products by title. Again, just knowing that they've essentially gone through initially the same process of search engine optimization or email marketing. They've responded to one of those campaigns. Now, we do break our leads down into different categories. For instance, we offer a live interview lead. It's our most popular lead product. After the prospect goes through that initial process and becomes a lead, we take and funnel that lead over to our call center and have our call center actually contact the individual and conduct a live phone interview. So during the interview process, we're verifying and confirming their information, making sure we've got the right person. We are confirming their interest in wanting to start a home-based business. In fact, we have the interviewing agent confirm with the individual that they are in fact looking and interested in starting a home-based business. And we tell the prospect specifically that they're going to be contacted by a few of our top home-based business opportunity representatives. They must give consent to receiving that phone call. Not only do we do that, but we also have the agent reiterate to the individual, hey, you're going to be contacted by a few of these top home-based businesses. They're going to mention my name. Again, my name is whatever the agent's name is. Be sure to pay attention to that, because you'll know why they're calling. So again, we're just setting setting the foundation, establishing the foundation, and setting it up for when you contact them and you're able to reference the name of the agent that interviewed that individual that you're calling. There's some credibility there. They understand why you're calling, and they're going to be more open and receptive to having the conversation. Now, also, as part of the interview process, and this is something that I alluded to at the beginning of our interview here, is that we require each interviewed lead indicate and respond yes to the following question. We ask them, if when you find what you feel is the right business opportunity for you, are you willing to make an initial investment of at least $100 to start that business? And again, they must indicate yes. Now, we ask that question not necessarily, Janet, to identify how much money they have to invest. Most people, we know, they're not going to divulge that information without first seeing something of interest to them. But so we ask that more so to drive home that this is a business opportunity and there is some capital required to get started with the business. Now, of course, we want to make sure that we're specific in saying, when you find what you feel is the right business, would you be willing to make that investment? So again, it just helps us drive home the fact that it is a business opportunity and not a job, as you had mentioned at the beginning of the call.
Or a hobby. Or a hobby.
Sure,
I mean, this is a legitimate business. Yeah, very good,
absolutely.
Jason. And then, so that's your interviewed leads, and you have a couple, and I think that in particular is a great option for people who are kind of new and they're nervous about picking up the phone and they're kind of reluctant. They're sensitive to rejection maybe early on in their career till they become rather insulated from fear of rejection. So I think that's a perfect option to set the table and stack the cards in the favor of an associate who opts for that. But you have a few other options too. What are those?
Yeah, absolutely. So our second most popular lead is our live local lead. And again, what essentially makes it local is we allow you to designate telephone area codes that you would want to receive leads from. So going back to that process, let's say, for example, the prospect uses Google and they type in home-based business, they go through that whole process that I shared. When they opt into that advertisement, we're funneling their inquiry directly to you immediately in real time. So you can literally have an opportunity to get back on the phone and call that individual within a few minutes of them responding to the ad and requesting information about a business. Now, it's the advertisement, again, isn't specific to CTFO or any one company. So when you contact them, they don't know exactly the company that you represent, but it gives you an opportunity to call that person back. And really the appeal of our live local leads, back a few years ago, was, when in-home meetings and PPRs and all of that were very popular, people wanted to target specific areas because they were hosting meetings. Now, and that's still the case, but now, more so today, people like being able to call from a recognizable area code. They feel that it helps their pickup rate. When you're calling from, your area code, you're going to tend to get more people answering the phone live. So again, it's our second most popular, and it's very close behind the interview lead. Now, like you said, they're not qualified to the extent of being interviewed, but these are individuals that are requesting information. You're getting them in real time, and you literally have an opportunity to engage with them within a few minutes of them expressing an interest in wanting to start a home-based business.
And that's so impressive, Jason. Some people will buy leads and they'll never even follow up on inquiries. But when you can just pick up the phone and within just a couple of minutes, respond to that person and strike while the iron is hot and their interest is high, they're very impressed with that. And I had a lot of fun with it. And for myself, I bought the live local premium leads, and I bought them in my own area. Of course, I choose area codes within local perimeters of where I live, because I want to start meeting people face to face when the time is right and it's the right person. And then I chose an area code in a place where our company will be having a future event, so I can start to cultivate some talent there, Jason. And then I even picked area codes in places that I want to travel to. So I'd like to find some talent there and kind of drill a well, create an asset there, and give me an excuse to travel there on a business trip, write it off, and enjoy good fellowship with new associates. So I've got this whole grand design going, and even some of the associates who have adopted this as early adopters of the FastStartLeads program, Jason, they're using my area code, and they're telling people, hey, my partner lives right near to you, and she would be open to sit with you. So we're having a lot of fun with the flexibility of that one option in particular.
Great. Yeah, that's, it's certainly, Janet, it's very popular. And just for those reasons that you shared, targeting specific areas, calling from recognizable area codes, meetings, you name it. So that's part of the big draw to that particular product. Now, we offer a live premium lead, which is basically the exact same lead. However, you're receiving those on a nationwide basis rather than from specific area codes. So the process in which they're going through to request information and become a lead is identical. It's the same thing. The only difference is that you're not getting them from a specified or designated area code.
Okay, so then the premium covers the country, and it can include your local, and then local just is your local area code.
Yeah, and local could be, it doesn't have to be your area code per se. You may, like you said, if there's an event going on in an area that you want to target, the area code may not be local to you, but you know that you have an event or activity, something happening in that area. You can designate multiple different area codes if you like. It's not just one area code. I believe you can enter up to 5 area codes.
Right.
With the live local product.
Perfect. Thanks for that clarification. Another thing that I really love about your lead program, Jason, is that some days I have time to talk to new people and introduce them to this concept. And I have to say that I have a built-in bias here. I think CTFO associates should win every time over just a few other competitors approaching these people for multiple reasons that we all know. And it isn't even something that typically requires a lot of follow-up, because our program is free, and the popularity of our product, the mass appeal of it, it just seems like people tip in without resistance. There's really nothing to resist. So I think we've got a real advantage over other people that may be approaching them. But I wanted to reference how how I can choose to have no leads today and schedule to have multiple leads tomorrow. And if I decide to go on a trip, which I'll be doing soon, I can just interrupt that flow again. So I appreciate how you guys are respectful of our schedules and to keep them hot and viable and convenient for us. We get to control all of that in the account we set up.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Janet. So essentially what will happen is when you create an account and you go to make a purchase of leads, we set up a back office, or what we refer to as a control panel. And like you had just mentioned, there you're able to manage your lead flow. If you want to increase your daily cap of leads, you can do that. If you need to throttle it back, you can do that. If you need to pause it, you can certainly do that. So there is some great functionality back there and features that we offer to really be accommodating to your schedule, to allow you, we don't want you getting leads that are getting stale because you're unable to work them. So having those features and functions is definitely very attractive to our customer base.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have thought of just about everything, Jason, but that's what happens when you've been doing what you've been doing consistently over time, right? For all of us, that's true.
That's right, yes. It wasn't always like this.
Right, exactly. So that we set expectations correctly, what can people look forward to when they start making these calls to the leads?
Yeah, that's the most important part, Janet, is having proper expectations through education, through platforms like this where we can talk about it and share the information. Going into it, when you're making these calls, you got to look at it. It's a sifting and sorting process, right? So that means, and I always use the deck of cards analogy. When you're calling leads, look at it or compare it to flipping through a deck of cards to find the aces, right? How many aces? There's 4 aces in a deck of cards. So as you're calling leads, knowing up front that you're looking for a handful of individuals that are going to be worth your time and your effort and your energy, and most are not, right? In this case, most are not for one reason or another. They're not going to be the types of individuals that you want to work with, that you want to invest time into. So knowing that up front, knowing, like you just mentioned, you have a tremendous opportunity behind you. There's, top of mind awareness about your product line and everything there. Going into it with that confidence and belief, and knowing that these individuals they're the ones that are looking, right? So when you call them and, you're finding those who are interested and willing to taking, those additional steps to learn more about your program, or the flip side is, there's going to be people that are, oh, well, I'm no longer interested, or, whatever the outcome may be. It may not be the most desirable, but that going into it, our focus is let's find those aces. Let's make these calls until we can find those aces. And that's what it comes down to. From an expectation standpoint, you're only looking for a handful of good people out of each lead package that you would invest into to be able to build off of it. And you do that consistently, right? So, our most successful customers are the individuals who are having a constant and consistent flow of leads over time. It's not, going into it with the mentality of, well, I'm going to try this and see that it works, or see if it works. We know that it works. We've got, leaders like yourself that have actually tested it, and you personally can share your own story, which is fantastic. But we also have other leaders, like you mentioned, Brian Carruthers, industry icon, multiple 7-figure income earner, who uses leads to this day to grow his organization. So it's setting the expectations and providing the training to teach people how to use leads effectively so that they can have the results, the desirable results that we want them to have. Yeah. And that all comes through repetition, staying the course, doing it over time. And it's just like anything, Janet. I always share this, when I'm on a training call, I talk about, I enjoy golfing. And certainly I didn't expect when I first started golfing to go out and be a scratch golfer. I knew that there was going to be times, I was horrendous when I first started. So at that point, I knew I had to go to the range. I had to play more. I had to practice more. Point being is that in order for me to get better at golf, I knew I had to be consistently involved in the activities that were going to help me develop the skill set to get better. And the same can be said here, right? When you make your first couple calls, or You know, maybe it's your first 100 calls. You may fumble and stumble over the things that you're saying, and you may encounter an objection that you lose your train of thought. And, you know, these are all things that you work through and become and get better at. And as you continue to work through the process and you develop your skill set, your results improve, right? So your conversions improve, your posture improves, and ultimately, you know, now you've got this process in place that you can share with team members, where you can teach that duplication aspect of, hey, here's a resource of leads. These are people that are interested in the business. Here's how we use them, and here's our process. So yeah, I'm excited to be partnered up with you and to be able to teach and train on some of these techniques that we have, that we know that have worked and that work for people who want to use leads to make more exposures.
Right. All those points are so appreciated and so well made, Jason. So thank you so much for sharing that with our associates. How do we order leads from your company?
Yeah, absolutely. What I'd like to do, Jen, is if we can just, let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, can you see everything okay?
I can.
Okay, great. So first step, what we want to do is we want to create an account. Again, this is where you'll have your control back office that's going to allow you to manage the lead flow. So we're going to come up here and we're going to click on create account. And I'm just going to go through and
we'll start out by telling
here.
them that they need to go to the Fast Start Leads store, FastStartLeads.com.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great point. So the website, folks, is FastStartLeads.com, which you can see up here, FastStartLeads.com. And then when you get there, I'll just go back here to the home page. So we're not, and here we're just talking about, you know, Fast Start Leads, generating, you know, the different leads. Of course, over here, you're going to see the lead products. I was talking about the live interviewed leads, the live local leads. You'll be able to see all those different products here on the left. Now, when you click on those, let's just click on the live interviewed leads. What it's going to do is it's going to take you over and provide a description about the lead. So it talks a little bit about how we generate the lead and of course, the interview process. And then down here, you can see the various packages. And down here, you can see the delivery preferences, how you would like to receive the leads. And I'll get back to that here in just a moment. Let me go ahead and let's go back to the create account step. So step one is create your account. And it doesn't require you to buy anything. So if you're just coming here and you want to create an account because you have an interest in potentially buying leads, you can come in here, you can create an account. You can be made aware of any announcements that we make, you know, any promotions or things like that. Of course, we do not sell our clients or customers' information or prospective customers' information. This is all proprietary. It all stays within us. So the account setup process, pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and just come down through here. One network way. And of course, I'm just making up. Okay, let's get rid of that. Down through here, and of course, we're going to confirm email. Okay.
You're much faster at that than I am.
Well, I'm having to go back. I need to slow it down just a minute. Okay. All right, so you can see that I've entered all my information here. Now, at the bottom, it's going to ask for your MLM group. And the reason why we ask for this, why this is important, when you go to order leads, our policy is that the leads will be exclusive within your opportunity, within your company. So you're going to be the only person with your respective company that's getting this lead. Now, we do sell the lead up to 3 total times. So it could potentially, whatever lead you buy could potentially go to 2 other clients who are with different opportunities, different companies. So let's go ahead and, there we go. And then I'm going to go down here. One moment. All right. And then this is just notification preference. Again, anytime we run promotions, this is how we would communicate with you. All right, so here we are. This is the control panel. So again, in here, you're going to see, when you have a leads order, you can come into this section, view control, download your leads. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing showing here because we don't have an active order, but in here is where you would be able to pause under the options column. It'll show the leads that you purchased, the purchase investment, how many leads you received. Here's your maximum per day. This is the daily cap. So when you go in, for instance, let's say we place an order for live interviewed leads, we order 100, and we want to set the cap to 10 leads per day. That's not a guaranteed number. So what that simply means is you may receive 10 leads one day, 5 the next day, and then the following day you might get 10 again, but we will not exceed delivering more than 10 leads or whatever you set this daily cap to in a day's time. And again, that's all part of the idea of we don't want to overwhelm you with too many leads where you're not able to effectively and efficiently follow up with them in a timely manner. So this is all where you would be able to manage your lead flow.
I know Brian said on a training that I sat in on with him, can you imagine where your business would be if you talked to 4 or 5 people every day that had varying degrees of interest in starting a home-based business, and you did that, and you actually taught your team to do that? How quickly would you see that exponential growth and income from just that one discipline? We talked about there's lots of other ways to skin the cat, but just that one, how could you not kill it?
Yeah, no, Jenna, you're absolutely right. I mean, just the activity, engaging in the activity and having a process in place, which you obviously have developed for your team members, where they can plug in and duplicate. Yeah, it's about making those connections, making the calls, making the exposures. I think Brian also shared, that was the call back on the 9th, I believe it was, of September. Mm-hmm. I think the stat was most top income earners in the industry. I don't know if it's personal recruits is 2 recruits a month or something like that. I mean, it's a very attainable number is my point. Mm-hmm. So by getting, 5 or 10 leads a day and, just getting engaged and reaching out and making those connections and those exposures, I mean, you're positioning yourself and again, doing it over time consistently, you're in a position where you can't not win. So, right. But, of course, it's, the opposite can be said. It's easy to not do it for whatever reason if we're fearful. And that's, of course, natural. I made a comment the other day on Facebook. Someone was doing a training on prospecting. And they were talking about, the fear of picking up the phone. And, public speaking and that's not my forte. And, when I first got started in this industry, it was very frightful, I was fearful of picking up the phone and prospecting. I had to prospect to drum up new business for myself to sell leads to. And, right. What I'm getting at is, I guess what I typically share with my clients is that you got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable, right? So get uncomfortable to get comfortable, meaning, those first couple dials, again, you may fumble and stumble, but just keeping in the back of your mind that the person you're talking to doesn't know any better. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know that what you're saying may be inaccurate or incorrect at first. And until you work through that process of, being uncomfortable to where you can become comfortable, they're not going to know. But you've got to get plugged in and you've got to go through those motions of being uncomfortable to get to that comfortable state. So
I say, Jason, I say being willing to do it wrong till you learn to do it exactly right. It just takes a little bit of guts to step into that space, give yourself a little grace, and just go for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Janet.
This has all been such great information, Jason, that you've shared with us, and I'm so grateful for your time and for this program. And most associates here really know their business, and they know how to talk to people who are interested and willing to listen, and they just need to find those interested people, and you're providing an effective way to make that happen. And I can say from my own firsthand experience that I started using FastStartLeads right after Brian suggested it to me, and I've had great results. It's so much fun to talk to people who are interested and serious about working from home, and they want to engage with me and learn about what we have to offer. And I'll never forget what happened on that very first day using this system when I got 4 good leads, Jason, and I enrolled 3 of them on my very first call. And I think I shot you off a text message.
I was just going to say that. You sent me a text right away.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about those kind of results. And I'll take just a minute to compare your leads to a much more expensive lead gen program that I signed up for back in August. And I paid $5,000 for the promise of lots of qualified leads. And I got locked into a 3-month contract. And I quickly realized that that was a big mistake. And I've had zero return on that investment. So I wished I had just called you and dedicated Media Solutions first and saved myself a lot of money and a lot of frustration chasing down customer service support staff now that they've got my money. So the best way that I found to get good qualified leads is what you've got, and it saved me a ton of time by not wasting effort and energy looking for and chasing people, Jason, who aren't really interested in a home-based business. And I hope all the associates watching this video will try it too and experience how fun it is to connect with people who also want to connect with you. And if you choose to move forward with this marketing strategy, we'll provide you with proven scripts and training to help you get the most from each and every lead. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and one more thing. Before we go, there's a bonus offer going on right now that Jason and his company have been generous enough to extend to us, where you can get 30% more leads for free on both the live interviewed leads and the live local premium leads. And the coupon to take advantage of that is FAST30. Just enter the coupon code during the checkout process for an additional bonus of 30% more leads at no extra cost. That's all for now. Have a great weekend.